Hello, 8th grade. Today we will put together two skills. First, we combined like terms, then we practice solving equations. Now we are going to solve some equations where it requires us to combine like terms. You will notice in this first example that we have 1/4 x and 3/8 x. This is the same variable to the same power, so we can combine those like terms. However, in order to add fractions, we need a common denominator. So between 4 and 8, we can make them both into eighths. 4 becomes 8 with a multiplier of 2, so my new numerator, 2 times 1 is 2. Now I can combine the like terms. I have 2/8 x plus 3/8 x. I have 5/8 x equals 10. Now, what's happening to my x? He's being multiplied by 5/8. Yes, this is a copy, change, flip, but remember we just say we're going to multiply by the inverse, so 8/5 instead. Both sides, whatever I do to one side, I also do to the other. Okay, 10 is a whole number, give him his invisible denominator. This side, our numbers cancel. We are left with, and we can either multiply straight across and have 80/5, or we can cross cancel first and simplify, divide these both by 5, and get 2 times 8 is 16 over 1, which is just 16, the whole number. Okay, so notice here that it says you're going to combine like terms, then use the additive inverse, right? Or use your inverse operations, adding to subtract to add, multiply, divide to multiply, showing that one step. You need to show your steps. Yes, you may use a calculator or a multiplication chart to help you out, but you need to show the steps. In this case, looking for that multiply by the inverse is what I'm looking for. Okay, here we have another example. So remember, we are going to maybe draw that balance line down the equal sign. Here we have decimals instead. Remember, when we add decimals, we line those decimals up. Yes, you can also use your calculator, but if I'm going to add these, 9.8 with the 11.3, we're going to have the tenths over the tenths, the ones over the ones, etc. Place value is important. Okay, so we're going to have 11, carry the 1, 9, 10, 11, 21. And where's that decimal going to go? Be very good about it. Put that decimal between the two ones, right? 21.1. It's kind of hard on my screen. Okay, so what are we going to do with this 21.1? He's invisibly being multiplied by the x, so we're going to divide by 21.1 on both sides. Okay, maybe you can see the answer here is 4, but you're also welcome to use your calculator. All right, let's take a look at one more fraction problem. So we have 5/8 x subtract 1/3 x. So both of the x's are the same variable to the same power, so we can combine them first before solving this equation. We need a common denominator between eighths and thirds. Remember, I can check my multiplication chart to see where I have a common multiple, and they both have a 24. 8 becomes 24 with times 3, so his numerator times 3 will give us 15. 1/3, his denominator becomes from a 3 to a 24 with a multiplier of 8. 8 times 1 is 8. And we are subtracting these amounts. So 15 subtract 8 of them is 7 of them. Now these are how many. It is still a coefficient of the x. We still have 7 on this side. Now we need to solve. We have invisible multiplication here, which means we do division, but that's the same as after we copy, change, flip, but the same as multiplying by the inverse. Whatever you do to one side, you also do to the other. This side they cancel. This is a whole number 7, so let's give him a denominator of 1.